Good afternoon once again to everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from Moscow to wherever you are in the world right now. And welcome to our Krylatskoe Lower Campus Virtual Open Day here at the International School of Moscow. My name is Tom Waugh, and I'm the admissions manager here at ISM. I'm actually coming into my 5th year at the International School of Moscow now. I spent 2 years here as an assistant teacher before making the move to the admissions team 3 years ago. And our panelists and I are really excited today to give you an insight into everything we have going on at ISM Krylatskoe and how we can support your child's learning here at the International School of Moscow. We expect today's webinar to last between around 40 to 50 minutes, with most of the webinar being dedicated to our panelists and their talk, and the final section being dedicated to answering any questions that you may have. So before we start, we do encourage you to ask any questions that come up at any point, and you can do this using the Q&A function on your Zoom, as you can see here on the screen. All questions are anonymous. They will only be seen by the panelists, and we will answer them when we come to the Q&A part of today's session. And if there are any questions we don't have time for today, a member of the admissions team will reach out to you after the event with all the information that you need. So I'm very pleased to introduce several members of our academic team to give you an insight into life at the International School of Moscow's Krylatskoe Campus today. First up, we have Mr. Justin Nowak, who is the head of Krylatskoe Lower Campus. Then we have our assistant head of early years, Miss Emily Visserman. And finally, we have our assistant head of lower primary, Mr. Elliot Smith. So without further ado, to start things off, I would like to introduce and hand over to the first of today's panelists, our head of campus here at ISM Krylatskoe Lower Campus, Mr. Justin Nowak. Justin, over to you.
Thanks very much, Tom. Thanks for that kind introduction. Greetings and welcome, everyone. My name is Justin Nowak. Now, overall, I've been in education for about 25 years now, and it's a great point of pride for me that 13 of those years have been right here at the International School of Moscow. And in fact, I've been at the school since its very first year of inception. So let me tell you, it's an absolute pleasure to be here talking with you today about my favorite topic, the school where we all work together. So the first thing that's important for you to know about our school is that we're a member of Nord Anglia's global family of premium schools. Now, this group has over 70 high quality international schools in it. So it's comforting for many of our families to know that we have that constant access to shared expertise, and that we're very much responsible and accountable for upholding Nord Anglia's reputation as the world's leading international school organization. Now, through Nord Anglia, our exclusive links to MIT, Juilliard, and UNICEF are all indicative of our commitment to an ambitious education that builds a type of skills and character that will serve our children so well, not only in their education, but also throughout their whole lives. And we also engage with the ISI Independent Schools Inspectorate, which is the same inspectorate that works with other independent schools that you may have heard of in the UK, such as Rugby, Wellington, Eton, places like that. And we're very proud of our outstanding track record with our inspections, and we do post them very proudly on our school website. So if you'd ever like to get a bit of insight into our school through an outsider's eyes, through an inspector's eyes, we warmly invite you to engage with our website and take a look at our inspection reports. You're very welcome to do that anytime you like. Now, with all of that know-how and support backing us up, we channel all of that energy into our school mission, which I think is a really terrific expression of who we are and what we're all about. So put simply, we believe that every child has the ability to lead a very happy and successful life. We have worked with children from all manner of backgrounds from all around the world, and we've helped them achieve things that they, and sometimes even their parents, wouldn't have dreamed possible. But much more than this, we're very committed. It's an important part of our mission that children really enjoy this process. School should be learning. School should be a very exciting learning experience. So it's part of our mission to keep that joy of learning alive, that special spark that is the right of each and every child. So part of how we achieve that can be explained by our approach to the learning process itself. Here it is in a little bit of a nutshell. My leadership team will go into a bit more detail later on, but let me tell you that it all starts with our committed approach to caring pastoral support. We understand that we have families from all around the world, or sometimes local children for whom English is a second language. So we provide the right type of support for all of them to feel very cared for, safe and secure right here at our school. And that's what lays the foundation that can catapult them to success. Now, to help them achieve that success, we invest a lot of time into character development for the children. We'll be talking more about this a bit later, but things like self-discipline, care, courage, and other attributes like that really help the children get the most of their experiences with each and every lesson and set them up for a success later in life as well. Now, with each child, we really have a lot of respect for them as an individual learner, so that the way that they experience lessons is very much individualized. We call it tailored learning. And what it really means is that the level of difficulty or things like the types of support they receive are really tailored to the needs of each child. I had a focus group just the other day in here, a focus group of children. We often ask for their opinion, and the children really did comment that each lesson felt like it was almost especially for them, the way that they experienced it. So that's fantastic too. And of course, we love collaborating with parents. We do everything we can to keep parents very well informed about their children's education. When things are normal again, we invite them in for live events and have them learning alongside their children. And we have plenty of seminars as well over the internet. We have parent academy seminars. We show concerts live, and involving parents really helps amplify all our efforts and achieves the best possible results for the children who really thrive. So when you're talking about what makes the school a special place, you really must also mention the manner in which we do things. We believe that the pupils should have a really rich cultural experience with plenty of events and real-world learning opportunities. We have concert performances, talent shows. We have special events week like Science Week, Book Week, Art Week, International Week that helps celebrate our international character. And we have plenty of events where we invite parents in as well, such as Family Fitness Week, our sporting events, and Family Fun Day as well. So all of that helps make sure that we have a really living, thriving community on our campus where everyone can participate, and it feels like a learning experience that's full of excitement and adventure for the students. And there's no better way than to help achieve our mission of children enjoying that learning process and for them to apply their skills than through a calendar that's full of experiences just like this. Now, also, if you want to talk about something special about our school, we're very proud of our campus, which is very unique in Moscow. We're not too far from the center at all. We serve many families who live right downtown, and we also serve families that actually live out of town as well. So we're in that special Goldilocks zone, I guess you could say, right in the center of Moscow. But we have no tall buildings around us at all. It's a very natural location right here. It's a special green zone of the city. So that means that children can learn in the most incredible environment you could imagine, with plenty of trees around, lots of green fields. It's totally unique in Moscow. And what a pleasure it is for the children to focus on their studies and social growth as well in this zone here. And of course, we have colorful playground zones around the campus, many of them designed by the children themselves. They decided what markings they would like on the floor, and plenty of climbing and exciting things for them to do and to test their skills as well. That's a wonderful photo there of one of our recent sports days. You know, when people think of Moscow, they often think of winter, but in the summer and in the autumn and spring, it's a really wonderful green zone as well. And we make the very most of that. And when you're talking about the location of the school, you can zoom out and really take into account our wonderful setting just around the school in the immediate surrounds as well. And we live in a very rich area of Moscow, very culturally rich, many opportunities for the students that help families from Moscow and all around the world take advantage of the very best that Moscow has to offer. We live next to one of the only ski and snowboard slopes in Moscow. So even myself after school, I often run into children who are getting extra lessons in skiing after school. It's a real pleasure. We have many other class facilities around the school as well, such as gymnastics, swimming, tennis, a golf course, ice skating, dance studios, and so much more. We take advantage of these with our extracurricular activities. We have a very rich extracurricular program on our campus as well. That photo that you see is actually an ice skating rink that we set up on our campus. In our setting here, it's so wonderful to take advantage of all seasons, summer, autumn, winter, and show children that life is a wonderful, joyous experience that they can enjoy indoors and out throughout the year. We even have a family theme park right next door to us, which many families find attractive, a great way for families to get together after school as well, and for children to enjoy their school day. So that's just a snapshot of a few things that make our school special. If I could walk you through our school journey next, you can see it starts in the very early years, even at 3 years old. And we have many families who stay with us all the way through to the end of secondary at 18 years old. And if I could add one comment as well, I would say that our colleagues in secondary do an absolutely incredible job of helping our students take the next step beyond. I know all through the summers, they're working the phone, helping students get the very best out of their applications to universities. When you walk into our campuses, we have a very special display where you can see our students have gone on successfully to study in many prestigious institutes in the UK and also in Europe, the USA, Australia, and all around the world. So we really are committed to helping our students grow in school and out. And to talk more about the very beginning of the journey, it all starts in the early years with nursery and reception. So I'll pass you on now to our assistant head of the early years. That's Miss Emily Vissoven. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you very much, Justin. My name's Emily Vissoven. I'm the assistant head of Lower Campus, responsible for early years, and I'm also a classroom teacher. So I'm in there with the nitty-gritty every day. I've been teaching for 12 years, and 6 of those I've spent at the International School of Moscow. So the early years, as you can see here, from nursery to reception, we're working with children from age 3 up to 5, and they're just such important years. And we know that because there's numerous studies into the huge significance of the amount of brain development that takes place during the earliest years of a child's life. So by the time your child has already gone into primary, into year 1, the vast majority of those neurons in their brains have already connected. And that's why the early years is so important. So how at the International School of Moscow do we support your child's brain development in the early years? Well, as a school, we spend a lot of time looking into research into child development and how we can utilise that research in our classrooms to ensure that your child makes the best possible progress. And research tells us that there are 3 key aspects that have the most impact on your child's development and learning. So their environment, relationships with adults and their peers, and their experiences. And providing your child with an early education in a safe and caring and calm environment will ensure that all that brain development that I've just spoken about happens in the right way. And we, as our curriculum, use the Early Years Foundation Stage Framework from England. That's the basis for our curriculum. And you can see that the research is built into this steps to success around which that curriculum is built. So the unique child, positive relationships and enabling environments, which ensure that your child learns and develops in the right way. So knowing your child's unique, providing those experiences, that will really stimulate their desire to learn, and it'll creating those positive and caring relationships between staff and students is also so important. And providing that environment enables your child to develop fantastically and independently during every moment of their day with us. So our early years curriculum, as I said, built around the framework that's used in England, has been developed around 7 areas of learning, which you can see here. So 3 of these, communication and language, physical development, and personal, social and emotional development, they're considered the prime areas of learning. And consolidating those is absolutely essential to ensure that every child has success in the future. So therefore, nursery particularly, they build their lessons and their environment around those areas. Now the other 4 areas, literacy, maths, understanding of the world, and expressive arts and design, those are specific areas which we develop further as your child moves through reception in particular, once those prime areas are really, really secure. And then in order to add even more to our curriculum, we're really lucky to have some wonderful specialist teachers who work with the children to develop their skills in music, in physical education and Russian language. And we have classes for both beginners to the language and native students. And for literacy and reception, we also use a structured phonics scheme called Jolly Phonics, and that really ensures that every single child is a reader as they move onto our primary school. Now, across the curriculum, as Justin's already spoken about, we're really focused on developing children's skills and their character to enable them to become those successful, independent, lifelong learners. So again, we focus on these 3 areas: playing and exploring, where children are focusing on finding out new things, playing with things that they already know and developing their understanding of them, and being willing to have a go at something new as well. Active learning, where they're focusing on developing their concentration skills and their involvement levels, their ability to keep persisting at something and persevering, and enjoying the achievement of something that they've set out to do, meeting goals. And then finally, creative thinking enables them to have their own ideas and choose ways to do things and make links between different parts of their learning. So these characteristics link really closely with the success skills which we've developed as a campus, which my colleague Elliot will speak a little bit more about shortly. Now, important to us is sharing learning. And in order to really know your unique child, we need to be in very regular communication with you as a parent. So we communicate on a daily basis with you. We might speak at the gate as you drop off your child or collect them. We communicate via email and telephone whenever we need it. And importantly, we provide lots of formal regular updates such as reports. But most importantly, and I think the thing that our parents enjoy the most, we want to give you access to your child's learning in the classroom. So we use an app called Seesaw for this, where you'll receive photographs and videos of your child's learning and development at school, as well as having the opportunity to share their learning at home, because we love to see what they get up to at home. It really helps us to understand your child even better. And as the children grow, they learn to use the app to share their own learning, and they continue that independent skill through reception and as they enter primary. Now, as I mentioned earlier, research tells us that our brains are almost fully developed by the age of 6. And something else that we know from research is that emotional well-being and learning the ability to self-regulate emotions has a direct correlation with cognitive ability. Therefore, in early years, we really have lots and lots of opportunities to focus on developing children's understanding of emotions and social skills. So some of the things that we might do is we have circle times on a daily basis where the children have plenty of practice at speaking and listening to each other and to their teachers. We have show and tell every week where the children can bring in a toy or something special to show from home, and that really develops their confidence and communication skills. We have the house system, even down in early years, which encourages collaboration and teamwork. The success skills, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, which highlight those key skills for the future. We have a lunch point system to celebrate healthy eating and good manners. And I think our favourite part of the week, our weekly assemblies, when we really celebrate all the achievements and effort that children have made. So at the beginning of the conversation, I was talking about the environment as one of those 3 key parts of the early years. And it really has a massive impact on children's learning and development. So we spend a lot of time creating and evaluating and then improving our learning environment to ensure that it appeals to each and every child. We have continuous provision in the classrooms, which are resources that your child can access all the time. And that really allows your child to learn independently and to make their own choices. And teachers will interact with your child as they use the resources available to ensure that their learning is progressing. All of our learning is based around play and investigation. It's absolutely essential for us in early years. And the vast majority of our curriculum really is built around that, with lots of opportunities for play, especially that incorporates aspects of what we call STEAM: science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Now, we often follow the children's lead as well. And we adapt our environment to reflect their interest and their fascinations, which really results in high engagement and lots of development. For example, today, the boys in my class are really interested in Roman soldiers, so we've agreed that next week we'll adapt the classroom and have a space for a Roman fort and a Roman army. And it really does just engage them so highly. Spending time outdoors is also a daily occurrence throughout all seasons, because our learning environment is both indoors and outdoors. And having this kind of learning environment, it really develops the children's independence in just such wonderful ways. And it's truly amazing to see the progression of the children every day. So as I've just mentioned, outdoor learning is a key aspect of our day in early years. So why do we spend so much time outdoors in all weathers? Well, lots and lots of reasons, some of which you can see here. It really develops their fine and gross motor skills, which are really, really important to enable them to become writers later on. It creates a great connection with nature. And we know through research that connections with nature are really, really beneficial for mental well-being, both for children and for adults. So it's absolutely essential that we have that. Developing teamwork skills is also a great part of outdoor learning. As you can see here in this picture, lots of pouring water and filling, transferring water from places to places. That requires teamwork. It really does. It requires them to work together. Offering the opportunity to take supported risks is also really important. And that's so much easier to do outside with lots of space to move. And then finally, promoting the holistic development and fostering resilience and confidence and independence, as you can see here. Again, linking back to those success skills that we're going to speak about shortly. So if you do have any further questions about early years at the International School and Moscow Lower Campus, put them into the question and answer section. And at this point, I'll hand over to my lower primary assistant head colleague, Mr. Elliot Smith.
Thank you very much, Emily, and good afternoon from Moscow, wherever you are tuning in across the world. My name is Elliot Smith. I'm the assistant head of lower primary here. I'm now in my 11th year in education, and I've been in this role for the last 2 years. I'm very excited to tell you all about our school today. So lower primary, we're very lucky that we get our children from our wonderful EYFS team, and our children join us at 5 years old in year 1, and they go through to year 4 before we send them up to upper primary, which is on a campus which is just up the road from us. So you may see some similarities here between the EYFS curriculum and our primary curriculum. Transition between EYFS and primary is very important for us. And much like in the EYFS, our biggest focus is expression through the use of the English language. We have a robust focus on the core subjects of English, maths and science, and we regularly achieve academic excellence in these areas. It's not by chance that we put personal, social and emotional development in the centre there. As Mr. Nowak and Ms. Visavan has adhered to, that is really at the core of everything we do. We believe that happy children and safe children is the most integral part of developing excellent learners and academic progress. I'll talk to you a little bit about STEAM more on the next page. And we did a student interview recently, and usually you would have students saying that music is their favourite subject or PE is their favourite subject. But our students voted that mathematics was their favourite subject on campus. And we do this with a tailored learning approach. We have 3 chilies. So there is a 1 chili task, 2 chili tasks and a 3 chili task. And the children have ownership of their own learning so that they're always challenged and make progress. So here we are with STEAM, and I know that Justin spoke to you a little bit about our collaboration with MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is a world famous university in America. So STEAM, as we've spoken about, stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and maths. And STEAM is problem-based. So we will pose problems to the students, and they have to think of the ways to find solutions. If I draw your attention to the middle picture, here, the problem was that our year 3 students had to teach our year 1 students about the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. Now, they could do this in any way that they saw fit. So we took a cross-curricular approach. These children decided to write a script by applying their English skills. Then they designed their characters using their art skills. They painted a green screen, they recorded it on iPads using their computing skills, and they made an episode of horrible histories which we presented to our younger learners. So you can see through that STEAM project, they were able to apply their knowledge of all of the different subject areas. And we do a STEAM project every 6 weeks in our integrated curriculum lessons. At the moment, we have our year 3s who are currently learning about the Egyptians, and instead of just regurgitating facts, we're going to get them to create a national history museum. So we really do believe in learning by doing. And of course, this problem-based approach and this freedom that children have to solve problems prepares them for the future and develops their creativity and curiosity about the world around them. Here we go. We've all been waiting for the success skills. This really is integral to everything we do here in primary. Myself and Mr. Nowak and other teachers on campus conducted quite a lot of research into what character traits are the most important. So I'll give you a second just to read through some of them. Our students here are incredibly knowledgeable about the success skills. We have assemblies each week where we talk about success skills in different contexts. We do reflections, so we rate ourselves out of 10 for all the different success skills. And teachers model to the students that we are not perfect. I'm currently working on my courage and creativity, and I'm very open with the students, and they in turn are very open about what targets they are working on. In every classroom, we have success skills posters, and the children move their names as and when they would like to say, my target this week is resilience. Whenever we praise students in school, we will never say, well done, great work. We would say, oh, you showed great resilience there. You made a few mistakes in your maths, but then you were really courageous and reflective. So in all of our communications with the students, we use these success skills and allow them to develop their character, to allow them then to go on and be successful in whatever they choose to in life. And we are a very, very caring environment. You can see the two girls here with a big smile on their face. We have something called bubble time, which is a chart in the classroom where the children can put their name. And if the child puts their name on the bubble time, it means that they would like a one-to-one meeting with the teacher. But sometimes the students might not feel like their teacher is the person they want to speak to. Every single adult in school has a bubble time chart. So quite often myself and Justin will have children come down to the office and talk to us about their ideas or their pets or whatever it is that they would like to talk about with us. And we show them the care that they deserve. Sometimes it could be something more serious, or sometimes it's very lighthearted, but children have that channel to speak to us about whatever they would like to. In every class, we also have an emoji chart where the children put their names to show how they're feeling. This started a few years ago and every single classroom had the same emotions. But our school council worked together and thought, what emotions do we actually feel in school? So now the students have taken complete ownership of the emoji charts, and I think there's now 12 emotions on the emoji charts. The children can regularly move their name on. The first thing they do when they come into the classroom in the morning is put their name on the emoji chart. And this is a channel for the teacher just to see how our students are feeling. So if we see that a child is nervous in the morning, it opens that line of communication with the students. And we go back to, again, the most important thing is that our children are happy and safe. All of the rest, the success skills, the character development, and the academic progress is all a result of happy and safe children. We have the FKR and the ABC. These are another two initiatives that were started by the children, not by us, not by management, all the children's ideas. So the ABC is the Anti-Bullying Committee. We have an anti-bullying week every year. And one of the students came to me in a bubble time and said, Mr. Smith, we shouldn't have anti-bullying just for 1 week. It should be all the time. So the children made this committee and they put a jar outside my office, and children are welcome to put any instances of bullying into the jar. And then the children from year 4 will go and support those individuals and support them with strategies that they can use to solve problems. And probably one of the highlights of our campus is the FKR, which stands for Friendship, Kindness and Respect. The children made 9 different levels. So it might be greeting the teachers when you walk into the classroom. It might be saying please and thank you. It might be walking around school quietly. 9 different ways in which you can show friendship, kindness and respect to others. Then the students designed 9 different badges that you can award. So if you're ever lucky enough to come and join us in school in the future and you see children with lots of badges all down their blazer, that's their awards from the Friendship, Kindness and Respect initiative. Again, all from the students' ideas. We have weekly circle times where we discuss world issues as well as issues that may arise in school to make sure that the children have a time where they can share their opinions in a safe environment. Our weekly assemblies, as I discussed, often focus on a success skill and show the children that success skills in different contexts. We had a fantastic assembly this morning about resilience and self-belief. And I saw some children out on the ice rink and they were saying, Mr. Smith, we're showing self-belief and resilience. So straight away, they've taken that assembly on board and are applying it into their school life. And lastly, we have Golden Time every Friday as a reward for all of our students' hard work during the week. Leaders of the future. We have lots of leadership roles for our students. Our science leaders work very closely with our science coordinator, Mr. Salisbury, and focus on the scientific method. All of our lessons, all of our science lessons here in lower primary follow the scientific method: question, method, hypothesis, conclusion, results. It's quite difficult to teach some of those to 5- and 6-year-olds. So our science leaders are highly trained in the scientific method, and they go to support science lessons to support our younger learners. Our playground leaders decide which playground equipment they would want. They go to the shops with our playground coordinator and purchase the equipment themselves. This is all done through discussion with the class of what equipment they would like at different times of the year. They're also trained in how to run games at break times and how to resolve conflicts. Our digital leaders are taught all about the computing topics before their class. So they will go to our computing coordinator and learn lots of different skills, so that when we come to our computing lessons, they can act as teachers. Our house captains, we have 4 houses here at ISM, a bit like in Harry Potter, but ours are the Romans, the Saxons, the Vikings, and the Normans. You can see the little girl here in the picture has a green t-shirt underneath. That means she is a Saxon. And our house captains, 1 child from year 3 and 1 child from year 4, are the advocates for those houses, and they often present in assembly who has won the house points each week. I've left student councillors till last. The student council are a fantastic group. They meet every week and they share ideas about how to improve the school. The emoji chart, the FKR, the ABC, the bubble times, all of those ideas came through the student councillors. Also, the student councillors even chose our menu. So they do food tasting and they have a say in what we eat here at school. So the school council really do our jobs for us. We would be nothing without them. So we have lots of leaders of the future here at ISM. If you have any questions about anything in lower primary, please feel free to put it in the Q&A and we will come to those shortly. But I'll pass you back over now to Justin Nowak to continue with this open day presentation.
Thank you very much, Emily. Thank you, Elliot. Wow, I just filled with absolute pride and joy to hear all this news about the school and to share it with you as well. You know, we're tremendously proud of all our students and the staff as well. And we would truly invite you to join our school family as well. We are a truly international school with British values right here in the heart of Moscow. And we are really a school family. I love that word. I thought I would show you. I have a kindness jar here, even outside my own office, and children often leave me kind notes as well, you know, and it's just one of those places. I had a parent ask me the other day, how do you remember all the names of the students? I greet them as they arrive in the morning and as they leave. And I think that's really the answer. It really does feel like a family environment where students and staff get to know each other as we support the students in their learning journey that begins here and continues through their whole lives. So if you'd like to arrange a meeting with us, we'd warmly invite you to do so. We'd love to have a chat with you over a coffee or online and talk with you about your own family, what your hopes are, and how we can serve you. So I'll pass you back to Tom now to walk you through some questions which you may have for us. You're very welcome to type in any questions using that Q&A function.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Justin. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Elliot, for sharing a little bit more about what we offer for children and families here at Krylatskoe Lower Campus at the International School of Moscow. At this point, I would like to introduce you to our fantastic admissions team here at ISM. That consists of me, our admissions manager. It consists of my colleague, Miss Diana Usenka, who is one of our admissions officers based mainly at our Rysinka campus. And if you will be joining us in Krylatskoe, you will most likely meet our admissions officer, Miss Olga Fateva, who deals mainly with families looking to join us in Krylatskoe as well. And on behalf of the whole team, I'd like to summarize our quick and easy admissions process. And there are 3 simple steps in this. So as the first step, as Justin touched on, we do always like to meet every single family individually. And no matter how you get in touch with us, whereabouts you are in the world, whether you email us, whether you give us a call, or whether you inquire on our website, we will organize a one-on-one meeting with you and your family, if you like, to discuss your plans about relocating to Moscow and how best we can suit your needs and support your children's learning here at ISM. After that, we move on to the application and assessment stage of the process, which involves completing our short application form. And then we like to organize a meeting for you and your children with Mr. Justin Nowak, the head of the campus here in Krylatskoe. This can all be done on a timescale that suits you and your individual circumstances. And once all of this is complete, we offer you a place and your children are ready to join us in school. It is worth noting at this point that while we are very proud to be fully open for on-campus learning for all of our year groups at the moment, we are aware that things are a little unstable at the moment with border closures, flight cancellations, and all of that going on. We are able to conduct our entire admissions process online and give you a taste of life at ISM Krylatskoe, no matter where you are in the world. That said, if you are lucky enough to be in Moscow already, we'd be absolutely delighted to welcome you to our campus for a visit in safe circumstances. We'll all be masked up. All of the children will have left the campus, and we'll be delighted to see you and give you a tour of the school and meet with you then. And the admissions team and I, Olga, Deanna, and myself will be absolutely delighted to meet with all of you individually and discuss any questions that you may have after this. So that actually concludes the presentation parts of our virtual open day. We'll move to our question and answer session now, and thank you very much for sending in your questions throughout the virtual open day. So we have a question from a parent here, and this one I'd like to direct to you, please, Justin. It's about the school community. What's that like outside school with families living sort of dotted around Moscow in different locations, and how do we sort of support that?
Sure. Now, thank you very much for this great question. I know that you're referring to life outside the school, but I should say that one of the ways that we address this is by making school that social hub. So we do gather families together. We offer plenty of events where families can connect and come to know each other. I referred earlier to our Family Fitness Week, and it's no coincidence that this takes part at the very beginning of the school year so that families have the chance to liaise and interact and make sure they know each other so well. And with each class, one of the first things we do is introduce new families to a class representative, like one of the families in each class who are familiar with the school. And they set up WhatsApp groups for each class that make it so easy to arrange things like parties for birthdays, trips out that families just arrange by themselves. One of our classes recently arranged their own trip to a museum downtown. That was just a family visit on top of the ones that we also do at school in normal times. And, so those sorts of things are quite common. So the children live quite lively social lives, as do the parents as well, who have those opportunities to connect, not just online, but they arrange lots of visits as well. And as you become more familiar with Moscow, within the different areas and pockets of expatriate communities around Moscow, those communities also link up very well via the school. And there are other means as well via embassy communities. Moscow is a very lively and thriving place for those sorts of connections to take place.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that one, Justin. We have another one. Again, this one might be best sent back to you as well, Justin, just to make a little bit clearer the difference between our system, the British program, which follows A-levels in the later years, and the American system, which follows the SATs as children get older. Could you shed a little bit more light on that?
Sure. I'm actually happy to answer all of these questions I see coming up. So the admissions deadline for Krylatskoe Campus, I can say, is at any time. We don't have a specific deadline at all. We accept children all through the year. Sometimes families, especially from around the world, can't necessarily control when they would arrive in Moscow. So, we're happy to welcome children, and we have a set of procedures and a program to make sure that children settle in, feel very welcome, no matter what time they arrive to us. Their classmates are very keen to welcome them and support them. So we're very used to this process, and we can help families settle in at any point.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Justin. Yet another one which I think may be best addressed to you.
I'm happy to keep going. My favorite topic. Yeah, talking about the school. Let me add it. Sure.
Exactly. It's virtual classes, this one, and how we're coping with things during COVID, especially in lower primary.
Sure. So the question is whether we have virtual classes for lower primary. We actually have virtual classes for all age groups. They don't run at all times. Our priority right now is to keep classes open as much as possible throughout the school year. So we have lots of safety procedures to help make sure that we can do so absolutely safely, providing a very safe environment for our children. But on occasion, a case does arise and the classes do need to go virtual for short periods. The teachers are very skilled at this. We've had outstanding feedback on our virtual school provision, where the teachers provide plenty of live lessons, live support for the children and encouragement. They're very imaginative and creative with their community times, and specialist lessons even take place on virtual school. We even had a number of children linked to our assembly this morning. So even though they're at home, they join us for our community times as well. So we have a very rich virtual school program that runs when needs arise. Of course, as I mentioned, we're creating a safe environment where our priority is to have students in school for that personal learning as much as possible.
Thank you once again, Justin. And just to go back to the question that we had from before, I think we may have just missed it a little bit. So the question about our British system and sort of the main differences between that and, say, an American schooling system, in particular in the older years of school.
Sure. Okay. So with the British system, I mean, I must say, as far as like global standards go, it's really in that elite category. So we do follow the British system all the way through from the youngest years to the very end. That gives us access to incredible know-how. There's plenty of outstanding training and professional development regarding the UK system for our staff. Some outstanding teachers there on the international circuit as well. And we just find that it is the perfect vehicle for living out our school mission, which is to make sure that children enjoy a very lively curriculum, very exciting curriculum, while still having that academic rigor. So as they progress into the older years as well, we do have the A levels as they progress into secondary. And what we've found is that the proof really is in the pudding, using those measurement techniques, those A levels. We're able to place the children in really prestigious universities, really outstanding universities, and not only in the UK too, but it's well accepted in Europe, in the USA. We've placed children in Australia and all around the world as well. So it opens up tremendous opportunities for the students, and that's the reason why we choose that curriculum.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Justin. We have one last question that's just come in right now, and that is a little bit more about the differences between the Krylatskoe campus and things in Rysinka. Maybe you'd like to tell us a bit more about that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the answer is we're quite consistent, really. We just serve different parts of Moscow. Our Rysinka campus is a great choice for families who are located a little bit out of town. Some people prefer that sort of environment. It is in a location in Moscow that presents a little, even a bit more of that village atmosphere. It's a wonderful, wonderful campus that runs on the same principles that we do. So, we can organize visits or interviews for families out there, as they wish. We have a really green environment here in the heart of Moscow. So families who live in the center or very close to the edge of town might find us a fantastic choice. But we meet with them very regularly as we shape our curriculum. We coordinate with our colleagues at Rysinka campus. It really is a very united approach. So you'll find a lot of consistency across the two campuses.
Thank you very much, Justin. And I think perhaps the last question we will have time for today is one actually that's come through about our very relevant at this time of the year, is about what sort of things we do in winter, how we make the most of the winter facilities and the great weather that we do have in winter in Moscow.
Absolutely, sure. We're very proud of this, actually. You saw the photo earlier where we have the ice skating rink that we set up in our field here. So, the children from years 2 and up have the chance to engage in, all sorts of exciting activities on the ice. In fact, I saw some students up in the PE office yesterday proposing a new competition. If you'd like to follow our Instagram, you can see a couple of photos of that consultation taking place. The children will be very excited when that starts up, and you can see it come to life. We'll post some more photos later. We even build an ice slide at the back. We buy the students some tires, some rubber circles where they can slide down on that ice slide. The children continue with all their other sports as well. You know, the snow doesn't stop them from playing football. I see we've got a snowman that the children built today. They love to dig and to play and create using the snow. And when I ask the children what their preferred season is, winter or summer, it's about a 50-50 split. You might think that summer would be more popular, but the children love seeing the snow arrive and making the very most of it, as one should when one resides in Moscow.
Excellent. I fully agree. It's a beautiful time of year. We're enjoying the snow and the cold weather. It's really wonderful to see, especially for the children. And I think we have one more question just here about our native English speaking teachers in Lower Campus. Justin, perhaps you'd like to give us an overview of where exactly it is that our teachers come from and how they're qualified as well.
Sure, absolutely. In each classroom, we definitely have native English speaking teachers. They've all got qualifications from the UK. They're well qualified to lead British education. We often have teams of teachers in each classroom. So occasionally we have native Russians who support, who are very fluent in English, or some native English speakers as well who are supporting those. So we have pairs of teachers in each classroom, highly qualified staff who understand extremely well how to bring that British curriculum to life. And I want to emphasize as well, we do have a very strong English speaking environment here. All the children understand that English is the language that unites us together. So it's a great place to show. And our academic results attest to the fact that children can become really nuanced and elite in their use of the English language, and everything that we do and provide for them supports that.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Justin. So we have, I'm conscious that we've had a couple more questions come in about the specifics of the admissions process itself. Unfortunately, we won't have time for those today, but not to worry, we will follow up with every single family via email and guide you through our admissions process. So to conclude things for today, I'd like to thank everyone who's joined us for taking the time to sit through this webinar with us today. I hope you found it informative. I hope you found it enjoyable, and you learned a little bit more about what we offer at ISM Krylatskoe today. We will be in touch with every single one of you individually with a recording of today's session and to answer any other questions that you may have about any aspect of school life. And if you are interested in starting the admissions process for your child, all you need to do is drop us an email on the address that you see on the screen, or even just visit our website, fill out our very short, very simple inquiry form, and we will be very happy to guide you through the process. So once again, on behalf of everyone here in Krylatskoe, we wish you all the very best from a rather snowy Moscow, and we look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you once again for joining us today, and bye for now.